Matilda Cerge, born Matilda Kalef in 1929, is a Holocaust survivor from Belgrade, Serbia. She is of Slovenian Jewish descent. Her mother Donna Kalef from Slovenia and her father Avram Kalef from Belgrade, Serbia. Matilda's mother was an Iran and her father was a Jew. Although the two were of different descent, love brought them to matrimony around 1928. Avram, Matilda's father, faced opposition from his Jewish mother and family because of his decision to marry an Iran. Antonia converted her beliefs to Judaism and became Donna Bat Avraham, or Donna Kalef for short. The two lived in Belgrade and had Matilda after their marriage and Matilda's younger sister, Berta, in 1931. The Kalefs were Jewish people who lived in Dorkal, a community of Jewish families in Belgrade, Serbia, for more than 200 years. They were middle-class people and part of the merchant industry. Matilda's grandparents were both Kalefs before and after their marriage. Nisam Kalef was Matilda's paternal grandfather, and Matilda Kalef was Matilda's paternal grandmother. Matilda was named after her grandmother. At the age of 25, her grandmother lost her husband and was left with 3 children. 2 of the children died, and Matilda's father Avram remained. Matilda's grandmother faced hardship, yet she still managed to care for her son and his family. Avram was a disabled man suffering from diabetes and muscular atrophy, which confined him to a wheelchair. This, however, did not stop her father from embracing his natural desire for knowledge. He was fluent in many languages, including German, French, Spanish, and Sedino. He enjoyed reading and socializing with others. Another man who played a role in Matilda's life was her grand-uncle Jacob. He was a prominent leader on the board of the Jewish community and also lived in Belgrade right next to Matilda with his family. During the Jewish holidays, he would lead and recite the Haggadah and other rituals. Matilda and her younger sister Berta played together and went to the same Jewish school. Her sister was rambunctious and unruly at times. Berta enjoyed being the center of attention, and when the girls would quote prayers out loud, this was evident. The girls enjoyed spending time at Kalamagadan, a park near their home, where there were seesaws, merry-go-rounds, tire swings, and other swings to play on. During her childhood before the war, Matilda attended elementary school and then went to the 4th Women's Gymnasium. A gymnasium is similar to high school in America in that it is preparation for college or other schooling. 4th Women's Gymnasium was a mixed environment. Matilda did not make many friends as she often spent time with her grandmother. I was my grandmother's favorite. She practically raised me. I went everywhere with her. She even took me with her to the spas. Throughout Matilda's life, she found great pleasure in her grandmother. After all, they were 2 of a kind. Matilda's favorite food was her grandmother's pie that was made up of spinach, meat, eggs, and milk. Before the Holocaust, Matilda did not experience anti-Semitism. Among the Serbian people, she was comfortable. Matilda's innocence towards anti-Semitism was broken when Jewish students were no longer allowed to attend school in Belgrade. On Palm Sunday, April 6, 1941, Belgrade was bombed. Thankfully, Matilda's maternal uncle was a way of escape to a town nearby, but her grandmother and father stayed in Belgrade helpless because of their limitations. The Kalefs, up to this point, experienced anti-Semitism and discrimination. Some of the relatives were taken from their homes, and mostly every Jew received an armband. Matilda's family was expelled from their apartment, her grandmother and father to an elderly home, while Matilda and Berta were taken in by a Catholic priest, Father Andrzej Tompej. Matilda Kalef became Lydia and her sister Brisa. They were considered the wedlock children of Antonia, their mother's Arian name. At their stay and hiding with the priest, Matilda and her sister were able to continue school with their false papers. As the girls were safely hidden outside their town, their father and grandmother were transported to a Jewish hospital, where Jewish doctors and workers were being transported in gas vans. Their mother allowed her daughters to see their father and grandmother for what would be the last time. Thereafter, the Germans made a last transport from Belgrade on the gas vans, and Matilda's father and grandmother were murdered. Matilda's mother was left to nurture and raise her children. She had to do whatever she could to be able to provide for their well-being, oftentimes smuggling goods and choosing to live in attics. In 1945, Matilda, her mother, and sister returned to their apartment home in Belgrade. They no longer had ownership of the 5 apartments that the Kalefs owned before the war. The family had to accept only a portion of all they had before the war and lived in the maid's room and the anteroom. In the 1960s and the 1970s, the apartments were denationalized from the communists and were liberated entirely. Donna Kalef now had full ownership of her own property. As Matilda grew older, she finished gymnasium and began her studies as a dental technician. She married a non-Jewish Slovenian man named Anton Cerge on September 8, 1948. Anton had known the priest who housed Matilda and her sister during the Holocaust. The couple had a daughter named Edita, who was not obligated to identify herself as a Jew. The family did not keep Jewish traditions and celebrated Easter and Christmas. Matilda began traveling and going to different places around the world. Her most favorite was Israel. She went to Russia, and every year throughout the summer, she goes to Greece for vacation. Now that she is retired, she has much time to spend doing the things that she enjoys, such as reading fiction, watching history and animal programs, and attending her Jewish community. The woman who Matilda believed fought hard throughout the war to keep her sister and herself well, fed, and safe, her mother Donna Kalef, died in 1991. Her sister Berta Simonovic went on to be a performer and had the opportunity to sing with an Israeli opera company. Matilda and Berta go to Greece together every year with Berta's husband. When all is said and done, Matilda Cerge faced great loss and hardship as a child during the Holocaust. But despite all odds, her father made a request the last time they saw each other that came to pass. "Donna, protect my children. Take care of my children." This happened, and today the sisters are able to live life all over again, clinging to the memories that got them where they are today.